It's Paul Sullivan here. I'm the administrator from the Snowy Valleys Council. Just a brief update on what's been happening in the last week or so. The most important issue is the selection and the review of the local representative committees. There'll be two of them. There'll be one for the southern end, shall we call it the Murray end of the Shire, or the council area, I'm sorry, and one for the northern end, which we're now referring to as the Murrumbidgee end. In other words, there'll be a Tumbarumba based group and a Chivett based group, and there's a fairly good cross section, a lot of ex-councillors amongst them, but a pretty good group, and I think we're all going to work well together. And the best thing I can do is just let you know who was selected. It's been in the papers, it's been on radio, but in the Tumbarumba area, the previous councillors include Ian Chaffey, who's agreed to chair that committee, and together with Alan Beck, Julie Giddings, Brett Livermore and Sue Fletcher. And there'll be a community member, Tim O'Brien, which is good because you don't necessarily want just a mini council group. You want to have a little external expertise and input, which is good. In the Chivett side, the chair will be Scott Stevenson, and from the former council, James Hayes, Margaret Disselman and Trina Thompson. The community members on that one will be Rowan Beask and Glennis Francis. Now, that's also a good group because there's a lot of skills there. Again, a domination of former councillors, but they were the parameters that was set by the government when the expression of interest was set. However, it wasn't an exclusive thing that it just be ex-councillors. It was important that there be some community input. A good group, they will have to work together at times and work on their own at times. We intend to start the meetings informally to a degree next week. Well, that's when we'll settle down, we'll work out the format, the agendas. They will both be open meetings. The idea is basically to provide an arena for the community to let their representatives know what they want. Now, I can't necessarily, if it's operational, I obviously can't get involved. But if it's for something in, a project or a process that's important, by all means, bring it up. And on that basis, as you know, there'll be funding for smaller projects, but, well, not small, up to $50,000 grants. There's a delay in that application process because the old Council 355 committees, as yet, haven't got the legislative approval to make submissions. Now that's just a technical issue because in the rural areas, as we all know, most of the small committees running showgrounds and what have you are 355 committees. However, in the interim, that gives us all time, gives you all time to put together a case of what you'd want, so therefore do your costings, do your planning, what have you, so that when we can put out those applications, you're ready to go. And the local representative committees will assess them, and I'll be at those meetings, so we can all have a chat about them. As I said, open forums, not a the one thing it can't be, though, is a platform for grandstanding, single interest, politics, what have you. These are community groups letting working on things that's important to them as a community, not necessarily personal agendas. So there'll be teething troubles, there'll be times, but I think these are going to work really well. Nominally we're going to make monthly, but can be more often, can be less often. So that's the main thing. Apart from that, the two organisations, the two former organisations, are integrating well. There's been an organisational plan that's coming together well. The interim general manager up here, Bob Stewart, and Kay down in Tumbarumba, Kay Whitehead in Tumbarumba, are working really well together, really well. There are differences, there are issues, there are things that have to be done, but the staff are working well too, so that we can implement something that'll work well going forward. And I'm really pleased about that, and I really commend the staff for doing that. Beyond that, we'll speak next week. Thank you. Is that all right?